Phillies, right? The best team in baseball. They're absolutely crushing it. 58 and 32. They are just absolutely dominating Major League Baseball. But a lot of their stars, Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto, Bryce Harper, have kind of been on the disabled list, the injured list, over the last few weeks, right? So today I want to talk about this huge series coming up versus the Dodgers. Let's see who the Phillies could be potentially squared up against in the playoffs. We're going to talk about where do we go from here roster-wise. The Phillies need to add some bench help. They've had a very disappointing bench this year. Johan Rojas, Christian Pache, Whit Merrifield, David Dahl, none of these guys are hitting well off the bench, right? So I think the Philadelphia Phillies are really going to have to concentrate at the deadline. Nice. Congratulations, little G, being an uncle. I'm a huge Phillies fan too. I'm excited for this series versus the Dodgers starting tonight. And it looks like reports are saying that Kyle Schwarber will be activated for tonight's game. So that's great for the Phillies. That will send down one of these bench bats. Probably going to be Pache if I had to guess. And we'll have to see whether or not we get Bryce Harper back. If Bryce Harper is not 150%, you got to just let him get healthy and bring him back after the All-Star break, which will be here very, very shortly. The Phillies are currently the best team in Major League Baseball with that .644 winning percentage, right? 58 and 32. They are 5-5 in their last 10. They're 5-4 without Schwarber and Bryce Harper, who unfortunately went on the disabled list at the same time. But if we take a look at the stats this year, Bryce Harper's killing it. 981 OPS, guys. He's got 20 home runs, 58 RBIs, 47 walks, 72 strikeouts, 303 average. And he's got that 303 average and right around 400 on base percentage. Harper is definitely in that MVP consideration this year. And Schwarber's done a really good job as well. He's got that average up from around 200 in the 250 range right now with an 820 OPS. Schwarber is having probably his best year ever for the Philadelphia Phillies this year. So it's really important that they get him healthy sooner rather than later. It looks like he's going to be back today, so that's great. Alec Boehm is actually having a career year as well. 296, 833 OPS. The dude looks great. Brandon Marsh, not bad either. 261, 752 OPS. JT 261 average as well. 720 OPS. Turner has been heating up as well since he got back off the injured list. 335 average. The power numbers aren't really there this year for Turner. He's got 7 home runs this year, but that 335 average more than makes up for it. The Phillies are sending a record 7 players to the All-Star game. It's pretty remarkable. Couple relievers, Zach Wheeler, Alec Boehm, Matt Stram. It's really, really impressive. Jeff Hoffman's going to be there. Really, really impressive this year. The Phillies' whole team, the coaching staff, the GM have all done a remarkable job building this team, and it's really coming together this year, guys. Really, really impressive stuff. Really, really awesome for Philadelphia Phillies fans, right? And then they have this huge series coming up against the LA Dodgers, right? The Dodgers are the second best team in the National League, in my opinion. And it's going to be a battle. It's going to be an absolute dogfight for this series with the Dodgers. Luckily for the Phillies, it's going to be at home. So, on the mound tonight, we have Wheeler tonight, Sanchez on Wednesday, Nola on Thursday, and then we have a quick series with the Oakland Athletics. Suarez, Mercado, and Wheeler will sum it up before we get to the All-Star break on the 14th. But we got Wheeler, we got Sanchez, and Nola going against Miller, Stone, and Knack for the LA Dodgers, right? This is going to be a great series. The Dodgers have an incredible lineup. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. They are a stacked team, $300 million team. They have been dominant again this year. Luckily for them, the NL West is not as good as it has been in years past, right? So they have a 7.5 game lead in the West right now. The only team above 500 other than the Dodgers is the Padres at 49 and 45. The Arizona Diamondbacks are not even 500 right now. The Giants are under 500 as well, and the Colorado Rockies are doing Colorado Rockies thing, only winning 30 games this year. The Phillies also have a 7.5 game lead in the NL East this year over the Atlanta Braves, 13.5 games over the Mets, 16.5 over the Nationals, and 20 over the Miami Marlins, right? But they're 5-5 in their last 10. Without Schwarber, without Realmuto, without Harper, you can see that this lineup is struggling a little bit to score runs, right? The Dodgers have scored 458 runs this year. They are a dominant offense. The Phillies have scored 442, just to put that into perspective. They've scored the most runs the Dodgers have in Major League Baseball. They're actually trailing the Orioles and the Yankees, who both have 464 runs scored. The Orioles and the Yankees both have a run differential of over 100, as do the Phillies and the Dodgers. They are the teams to beat this year, in my opinion. Yankees, Orioles, we got the Dodgers, and the Brewers are a sleeper team too. The Brewers are actually playing really good baseball, 53 and 38. The Phillies are in first place right now because of that pitching staff, guys. They've been absolutely dominant on the mound this year. Zach Wheeler, 2.74 ERA with a whip under 1. Nola with a 1.03 whip. Then we have Ranger Suarez with a 1.02 whip. And then we have Sanchez right behind them, 1.24. So this starting pitching staff has been dominant this year, right? Are we going to continue to get these kind of performances as we move forward into September? Because that's when the games really matter, right? We need to conserve these arms as we approach September, right? So we want to build up that cushion of a lead over the Atlanta Braves so we can kind of get these guys out of there after 5 innings. You don't have to pitch them 7, 8 innings when you're in a pennant race, right? So we really want to conserve these arms. Luckily for the Phillies, the bullpen has been really good. Spencer Turnbull has been great. Jeff Hoffman, Matt Strahm have all been very, very good. The biggest disappointment this year has definitely been Tawan Walker, 5.60. He was dealing with some type of injury, so he's on the IL as well. But Gregory Soto has really stepped up this year too. He's going to be a very important piece, I think, moving forward. Dominguez has also been doing pretty well as well. But I still think the Phillies' best course is to go out and get a bona fide closer, right? You just can't trust a guy like Alvarado with the game on the line. He is just too wild of a pitcher. He's got dominant stuff, but he struggles to throw strikes consistently, in my opinion. He's got 13 walks in 36 innings. Not great, man. Soto's got 16 walks in 29 innings. We need guys to not be walking people, man. The best relievers for the Phillies, Matt Strahm and Jeff Hoffman. Strahm only has 4 walks comparatively in 34 innings, right? So Hoffman and Strahm might be more of the late inning arms, in my opinion, as we move forward. Alvarado has better stuff, but you can't afford, especially in the playoffs, to have guys like Alvarado and Soto walking guys and getting them on base. So I'm very, very happy with where the Phillies are this year. Orion Kerkering has been really good too. 0.86 whip, average against 191. Extremely impressive stuff from the Phillies, right? We got 2 more series before the All-Star break, everybody. So we got to come out. We got to go at least 500 across these last 7 or so games. If we can do that, we're going to go into the All-Star break with a nice lead in the NL East. The lead, we want to get it. I don't know if we can get it to 10 games, but if we can get it to 8, 9 game lead going into the All-Star break, I think that's where the Phillies want to be, because this Braves team is not going to go away. They're very pesky. Even though Acuna Jr. is out for the rest of the year, this team is still very good. They pitch very well. They've had some unfortunate injuries in their rotation and in their lineup, but they're not going to go away, in my opinion. I think they're still going to be around. They might even be a wild card team for the National League, so they want to put a stake in the Braves' heart, get that lead up over 10 games. This way, if you go through a little bit of a bad stretch or an injury pops up in August or September, we can kind of get through the storm a little bit. All right, guys, that's my update on the Phillies. Look for Kyle Schwarber to be back in the lineup today for the Philadelphia Phillies. We're not sure about Harper. They might kind of just let him rest up for these last 2 series, come back after the All-Star break healthy, ready to go, ready to win some games. I'm really excited for this series. Tonight's game is on TBS, so if you have the HBO Max app, you could watch the Phillies versus the Dodgers. I don't know if it's going to be on MLB TV or the local stations, because HBO currently has the rights to this Dodgers-Phillies game. So you might have to get the HBO app. It's only like $5 or $6 a month. It's not too bad. It is annoying, especially if you live in the Philadelphia area, to not be able to watch the Phillies when they're in such a great series with the Dodgers, right? But it's going to be on HBO, on that Max app or whatever. So make sure you check that out. If you guys haven't yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate you tuning into the channel. We're getting closer and closer to 5,000 subscribers. That's all because of you guys. I cover all kinds of sports. I mainly do football, MMA, and baseball. So if you're interested in some football content, I'm going to break down every single week 1 game of the NFL. Today, I'm going to break down the Bears and the Titans game. I'm going to put a new prediction out every week up until the NFL season starts. I'm also going to do a Millionaire Maker lineup for DraftKings. That's one of my favorite DraftKings, daily fantasy to do, in my opinion. $20 for a chance to win $1 million. It's awesome, guys. So make sure you tune in, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next video. Go Phils! Peace! How do I get out of this? Later.